All right, so right now we are going to answer these questions that we had for this address. So 1696 Orinda Court. So we did receive this email. Please call this report, latest updates. So they really need to get this information, and then we received this email as well. They're asking for information needed from the questions 5 to 20, and then 22, 23, 41, and all the other questions. So I will be recording these while going through these work orders. So I went into FN portal, and now I'm working on the condenser unit. So condenser unit, now I want to make sure that we have this information for this. So I'm going to click on the customer, go to files. Well, I have the form. Okay, I'm going to pull these up on the same address, which is this address, whatever that is. It is this. So I'm doing this so that I'm gonna have it just in two windows, so I don't have to switch back and forth. Over here I'm gonna have the form. So here I'm gonna have the form, and here I will have the files. That way I have everything I need. I don't have to just kind of jump around. Okay, so going back to this one, they are asking for 5 through 20. Now, let's see, the brand, I mean, we don't know the brand because it was painted over, right? Can't really see, but it's just with my experience, I know this is a BDP unit. So, and in fact, what we could do is 18RCU108K. Let's see if this gives us anything. 18RCU RCU 108K. Nothing. Well, let me download this a little bit better. So this is 18RCU 108K. And here's the serial number. 04 something something. I can't really see much, but I do see the model number 18RCU 108K. 18RCU. First go 18RCU heat pump. Huh. There you go. Something is coming up. 8RCU. I mean, this doesn't really look like this unit. And just because a couple of letters match, I don't want to assume. But let's just take a look. That's not it. Yeah, none of this matches. So anyways, I'm going to go back to these questionnaires. So the brand, we don't know the brand, so I'm not gonna, the model number not available. Well, actually, it kind of is 18RCU108K. So 18RCU108K. Serial number is not available. Age is 20 plus. 2240. Well, this, okay, so 30 years old. I mean, with the age, you're not going to be exact as soon. I mean, whenever it's over 10 years, like, you can't be very specific unless you actually have a manufacturer date here, which we don't. So, Sear, no, it's not compatible to 410A. I mean, this is very old R22 unit, and we know that. I mean, I just know this from here, but even if you wouldn't know from there, you would still be able to get it from the form, because the form, you know, they did tell you it's R22. And the indoor stuff, which is right here, this stuff is also R22, obviously, because it was working with the outdoor unit. However, this unit, if you look closely right here, you will see that here, this has no piston or TXV. This is a capillary tube type of setup. So we will not be able to install a TXV here or a piston. So this is not compatible. This is not compatible to a 410A TXV. Okay. SEER rating, we don't know. You can put NA here, but approximately 8. Anything that's over, 20 or 30 years old, you can just put 8. But again, you don't have to be very accurate. Condition, it's in very poor condition. Obviously, you can tell. I mean, this thing has been tortured by gardeners and pets a lot. So it's in poor condition. Capacity. Well, capacity for condenser, we always rate condenser units by tonnage. So capacity, we're going to take tonnage. And so for the tons, what is the quantity of the tonnage? Like, how many tons? Well, let's go to the forms. Okay, here I have the form. In tonnage, it says no info. So in this case, you can contact the technician, whoever was there, which was Sasha, and we can ask him, hey, what's the tonnage? Like, I need to figure out what is the tonnage. And then somehow you'll be able to figure out together with the technician. Most likely, you can figure out by how big is the property, right? Or, I mean, the residence. So this, we know they have one unit. So if they have one unit, and if we will know the square footage, we can approximate the tonnage. If they have more than one unit, then we need to know how big is the other unit, and then then we can approximate the tonnage. So in this case, we know it's only one unit, so we can take this address. Right, we can take this address. And we can go to Google, and I like using Redfin. So in Redfin, we know it is 826 square feet, right? We divide these by 400, and we get approximately 4 point something. So 400, 1 ton of cooling is going to be good for 400. So this is going to be, let's say, approximately 2 tons, but just to be on the safer side, because we are replacing indoor and outdoor, we're just going to say 2.5. Okay, so 2.5 tons, because it's slightly over than 800. We're just going to say 2.5 tons. Okay. So going back to this capacity, 2.5 tons. Okay, so this is tonnage 2.5 capacity. And again, how I determined it, I went to the forms. I went to the forms. In the forms, I found out that it does not say the tonnage. It says no info. And then I would call technician and find out together with the technician. But in this case, I just went online and found the square footage, divided by 400, and then upsized to the next half a ton. So if this would be 790, I would say it's a 2-ton unit. Because this is over 800, then I'm saying it's 2.5. If this would be 2,000, then I would divide by 400 and I would say it's a 5-ton unit. Again, this works if you only have one unit. If it's multiple, then you have to know how big is the other one. Okay, so now I know 2.5 tons. Is this a split system or dual pack, which is same as a package unit? Well, let me go and look over here. I know condenser is outside and then the air handler is inside. Okay, so it's a split system. I'm going to use, it's a split system. Is this a straight cool or a heat pump? Well, I would go to a form, okay, and see, is it a straight cool or a heat pump? Well, this is cool only, which means a straight cool, and it's electrical air handler. Okay, so this would be a straight cool. So I'd say straight cool. However, just because newer units are much easier to install when it's a heat pump versus electrical, and they're much more energy efficient, and the cost is basically the same. So basically, as an exception, I'm going to say this is a heat pump, also because we are replacing the indoor unit, right? If you're only replacing the outdoor, then everything has to match. But right now we're just going to put this as a heat pump. Okay, so heat pump. A compressor type, it doesn't really matter what kind, as long as it's not a rotor lock. And if you are replacing a compressor, then you need to indicate. But we're not replacing the compressor, we are replacing the condenser. So it doesn't really matter, but let's put reciprocating, because it actually is a reciprocating compressor. Let me see if I can show you here. Yep, you can see this kind of oval, chubby compressor. But if you don't know, it doesn't matter, because condenser is going to be replaced here. We are replacing the whole condenser. So it doesn't really matter what kind of compressor it has, because the new condenser unit will come with the new compressor. But so it doesn't really matter, but I just know it's reciprocating, so I'm going to use reciprocating. Working on, what are we working on? We are working on condenser, because I'm working on a form for a condenser right now. Number of systems in the house, well, if I already know it's 2, but if I don't know, I can just check here. Number of systems, it just says 1. Okay, so we're going to say 1. System controls which part of the house? Same thing, going here. The whole house, obviously, because it's a 1 unit. So if it's a 1 unit, it controls the whole house. Okay. Whole house. Refrigerant gas, it's R22. Refrigerant supplied by you. This is a single stage. Okay, 1, 2, or 3 stage. How do I know? Well, right here. Stages. Yep, single stage. So it's a 1-stage unit. Then a variable speed. Is this variable speed? No. If it's a single stage, it's not a variable speed. So it's not a variable speed. Is this under manufacturer's warranty? No, it's not. Specific location, exterior, ground. Okay, because it could be exterior roof, but it's not on the roof, it's on the ground. How do I know? You just look. Okay, look at this. Well, it sits on the ground. So exterior, ground. Then select a cause of failure. It says normal wear and tear. That's interesting, because in the comments we had physical damage. Okay, so over here, well, let's find out what is, what was happening. So no information on the motor, no tags, electrical air handle leak, refrigerant condenser coils. You can see refrigerant condenser coils, physical damage, and faulty condenser fan motor. But when you have a physical damage, it's not normal wear and tear. So I don't know why this was chosen as normal wear and tear. However, I'm just gonna keep going with this because we have, they already emailed us a bunch of times about this, and this is becoming a problem. So I'm just gonna include it as it was submitted before. See, leak refrigerant. It says physical damage right here, but normal wear and tear here. So that kind of doesn't make sense. When you have physical damage, you gotta say missing parts, abuse would be one, accident, improper design, improper installation, improper previous rail, lack of maintenance, manufacturer defect, mismatch, underside, misuse, overload, past, power, rust, corrosion, or other. I guess in this case it would be abuse, right? Because you can look at this thing and it's in pretty terrible shape. Right here, it's been, it's been damaged. But anyways, I mean, this thing is extremely old, so we're just going to say normal wear and tear, and diagnosis and description of failure, leak of refrigerant, physical, whatever. We'll just leave it like that. Repair recommendation, replacement of indoor and outdoor units. Okay. So trip charge, no trip charge, flat rate, no flat rate, labor description, diagnosis, 1.5, code upgrades. So let's see what are the code upgrades we're going to need here for the form. What we can see, we should already have the NCC, which is the non-covered charges, already generated. So I'm going to go, I'm going to open a third one. So I have the NCC here, then form and the photos, everything already open and available. So let's see. This is for this address. So I'm going to go to estimates, and you already have the NCC. Let's see. So composite platform, code requirement, code, all of them are code requirements except modification and the maintenance. So let's just go to code upgrade. There you go. So code upgrade, we're going to start with the first one. Let's do a preview. Well, actually, maybe this was already done. Let me look at the files. Nope, it has not been yet done. So I'm just going to preview. Actually, I'm not going to do that, and I will let you know why. I'm going to generate that after they approve everything, so we can send it to the owner. So for right now, I'm just going to say edit. That way I'll be able to copy and paste it. Okay, so the code requirement, I'm going to go over here, code upgrade. What's the cost? $275. Okay, $275. Then we're going to add another one. And what's the next? Okay, so the next one is condenser seismic metal strapping. All right. And it costs 196. And then we're going to need another one. The next one is a line set UV resistant ref, 248. The next one is locking caps, and it's 134. Then next one is electrical ground, and it's 327. Oops, 327. Okay. The next one is modification, but because I'm doing the code requirement ones, I'm just going to keep this and then I'll come back to that. So code requirement, drain line, flash out, access, this guy here, and it costs 295. The next one is water level safety switch, and it's also 295. Water level safety switch, 295. All right, so I got all of these here. And then building permits. Well, actually modification and access. Let's see. Modification and access, we can add this stuff here. Modification. Price is 165. 165. And we can add the maintenance in the same place, which is this right here, together with the modification. There you go. And it's 378. Well, actually, we're not going to add the evaporated cam bath because we are replacing the air handler. So if we're replacing it, we cannot, we cannot ask for this authorization. Well, because we're gonna request a new air handler, and evaporator is in the new air handler, and it's gonna be brand new. So we cannot wash a brand new unit. So I just deleted it. Save it. And it's 1868. So if we count this here, it will be also the same. Now the permits, we're going to go back to the estimates. And city permits. Okay, so this is going to be 275. And Hearst test switched something up. Okay. And the Hurst test is gonna be 595. Okay, so that's done. Okay, so now we're going on modification, vibration leveling pads. Okay, that's fine. Crane, we don't need the crane. Okay, disposal 0 because we don't have any. Sales tax 0, 0. Diagnosis. What action are you taking? Recommending for this component? We are recommending a replacement. Click anywhere to continue. Item description, condenser unit, special dimensions, no. Item part number, I think it was the same here. Model number, item part number. This is the old one. And 2.5 ton heat pump new. I mean, I'm being too descriptive here, but you know, it's just easier for them to know that this is the old one. However, new one should be 2.5 ton heat pump, and any of them will work. BTU rated compressors and heating only. So compressors, well, the compressor is, say, 30,000 BTUs. Cooling. Okay, you gotta indicate if it's, you know, for a compressor, and this will be same as 2.5 tons. Okay, because you divide these by 12 and you get about 2.5 tons. So then we'll call, this will be a will call any supplier in Los Angeles. Okay. Sales text. Now, what action are you taking? Replacing best contact name. Let's say Mike, because I'm the one filling this out. So any notes, I guess we can just say that we recommend replacing both the indoor and outdoor units, or any other notes you want to include here so that you would make it easier for purchasing and authorizations and anyone, the whole process. So let's save this. All right, exactly 3,000. I will confirm. Well, actually, before I do that, I want to make sure that I include this stuff here. So we did, well, if this is mandatory, we can just choose, I think it's BDP, but it doesn't matter. So this one, I need to make sure that we also fill out this for the air handler. Okay, and for the air handler brand, we have this guy, Northrop. All right, so let's see if they have it here. thought. So they don't. So let's see if they have other. They don't have other, so I guess then it doesn't matter. We'll just choose like Goodman or whatever. Model number not available, but we can tell them 2.5 ton air handler with air handler. Okay. Serial number not available. Age, it's like 30 years plus. Condition, yeah, I mean it's in fair condition, you could say. Capacity in tonnage. Okay, in tonnage. If this would be furnace, then I would choose BTUs, but capacity in tonnage is 2.5 tons. Split system, well, we already know it's a split system because, you know, this part's inside and the condenser is outside. See, right there. So it's a split system. It's a heat pump. We're saying it's a heat pump for the reason I just described earlier. It's much easier to because they don't have a furnace. So if they would have like a gas furnace, we would say straight cool. But this is an air handler with the heat strip, so we're just saying it's a heat pump. Okay, but normally you don't have to guess. You just write whatever you have indicated by the technician. Okay, so right here, whatever it says by the technician, you just include that one: heat pump or straight cool. Currently, I'm putting something else. If you still don't understand why, you can ask me. But by default, you just include whatever it says in the form. Okay. So then, heat pump working on air handler. Number of systems 1. System controls which part? Well, the whole house. It says not available, but it's actually available. It says right here. The whole house. Okay. Whole house. Ooh, house. Okay. Then refrigerant gas, it's R22. So heat. So this one has 10 kWs. How I know it's 10 kWs is because if you open this, you can see it has 2 heat strips, and one is usually each is usually 5 kW. So well, actually I'm lying. Each is actually usually 3.75. So this total is going to be about 7.5 or so. So 7.5. Position, well, it's upflow. Variable speed, no, it's not. One stage, yes, it's a single stage. You can see it's a PSC motor. It's not a variable, but again, you don't have to guess. You can just go in the forms and you know it's a single stage. Okay, so 1 and not a variable speed, single stage. Comparable, no, it's not. BTU rating 30,000. Is this item under factory? No, it's not. So specific location in home. Heat pump air handler. Heat pump air handler. You can see it is in the closet. You can see floor, and like this is not exterior. I don't know why it says exterior, but it's interior. Okay, closet. Okay, so is this appliance shared? No, it's not shared. Select a cause of failure, normal wear and tear. I don't know why it says that, but you know, whatever. It should say the same thing, whatever it says in the form. Or if you don't know, I mean, not in the form, but in the comments. Okay, and in the comments, it does not say normal wear and tear. It says physical damage, as you have it right here. But you know, right now I'm just gonna keep as it is so I don't create more problems. replacement of indoor units, not just one. Trip charge, labor description, equipment supplied by you, none, because the equipment is supplied by the home warranty. Code upgrade, well, we got all the code upgrades in the condensing unit, so I'm just going to keep it there. Everything else I will say NA, because everything is already there. So then crane description, we don't need crane. What action are you taking? Well, we are asking for a replacement. Okay, so item description, air handler. Air handler. Specific dimensions, no. Part number, not available, but we can tell you that it's a 2.5 ton air handler. Upflow. All right. Will call, yes, will call. Any supplier. Okay, let's say will call any supplier in Los Angeles. It could be Goodman, Sigler, etc. Sales tax, no. Replace. This is going to be Mike, because I'm the one who's... Yeah, see, it says recommend to replace indoor and outdoor units, but over here it said repair. Everything has to match, you know? And if you don't know, please ask someone who does, so they can help you. Save and submit. This is not completed. Follow-up trip is needed. Parts on order. Right. See comments. Estimated, let's say 2 weeks. Right, approximately. And comments would say, we recommend replacement of indoor and outdoor heat pump units. Okay. Alert. Okay, successful. All right, very good. So this has been submitted. We can just double check, make sure that it was actually submitted. And I'm going to go into the portal. Get this address. There you go. Well, we know that it's submitted because follow-up trip is needed and authorization. Okay, everything is here. I'll just, show you that everything is fine and submitted right here. There you go. So then they will, figure out what is covered, what is not, and they will update us. They will let us know, but everything has been submitted. And that's all. I should update Monday with this. and 1696. Well, actually, I'm gonna try to find this with SWO. There you go, perfect. We can go to this. All right. Equipment's pending, follow-up trip needed. This was already submitted, but let me just double check. Yeah, it says submitted right here. Okay, cool. So all right, so I will go to monday.com and say, oh, it says submitted, but I don't think it really was, but well, now it is. And I will update. This was just submitted to FN via portal by myself. We are waiting for the auto to get back to us. All right. So now about this is not yet submitted to the homeowner. We are going to find out what they approve, what they don't, and then redo the NCC and then send it out. Home warranty equipment. Well, this is going to be ordered by them, but we don't know it yet. And start time. This is not relevant anymore. Updated the portal. CRM is not really updated. Then appointment. Let's repairs. All right. All right, that's all really. So I updated the Monday as well as this. It says submitted. So now we're just going to wait and see what they want to do about this.